the standing front headlock, and I go to step, I don't want a situation where I'm going to sit to guard and let Adam run around my legs very easy. Okay, that's going to be a bad thing for me. So I take an outside ankle line step. I hit my snap down, I step to the outside ankle line. So now he's got a further distance to go to get around this leg. It's going to be a little further away. Now, I'm going to sit my hips right underneath of Adam, pulling his head down, and as I do so, I'm going to make a butterfly hook on this side, on this far leg. Let's go to it. Stay right there. I make a hook right here. This hook is important, this initial hook. Why? Remember, I have Adam's head on this side, so as Adam tries to hop over my guard to his left-hand side, or his right, I'm sorry, this leg is going to stop him from being able to pass all the way. It's this hook that buys me time to make sure I get this leg up and over and around. He's going to try to hold and control this leg as he hops. My butterfly hook on this leg stops him from beating this leg, allows me to separate my two legs and capture the hips. Or, as you'll see with the hook sweep, we take them all the way over. But the idea is I don't want him to jump over my guard as I go for the hook sweep. So I have this, outside ankle line. I step underneath him, making this hook. Taking him up and over my body, and I back roll into the mount. Sometimes he'll come out in side control as well. Here, outside ankle line, hook. And I back roll right up into the mount position. Notice how my hips followed him. I didn't let him go and then I just stayed on my back. I didn't do this. Okay? When I knock him over, I don't want his hips to go this far away from mine. I want my hips to be continually traveling along with his. And you'll see that when I do it this next time, my hips are going to stay fairly close to his the whole way through. I turn myself and Adam into a little ball. We're here, side step, and then I go hook sweep. And I can take it right up to a mounted position. Now you can finish the guillotine from the mount. From here, I can either use closed wedges locked in my hands, crunching his chin to his chest, or if I want to be able to get more height, I can use a one-handed guillotine, taking my flat hand and laying on my flat hand, and I can push off the floor for a one-handed guillotine there. But the idea is that we went from standing front headlock, we used a butterfly hook to take his hips up and over our head, pulling him, until we went to the mount. So when I'm down here, you can stand your feet, just bring your head up. My butterfly hook here, as I pull, lifts his hips, lifts his hips, lifts the hips, pushing the hips over as I continue to fall through and come up into the mount position. So that's our hook sweep from butterfly guard. Not from butterfly guard, from the standing front headlock. If Adam, he should go over. If for whatever reason Adam doesn't go over, I go to do this, boom, pulling down. He doesn't go over, then I just make sure I lock the hip, and I can finish the guillotine right from here. Okay. So we had the shuffling sprawl or circular sprawl. We had the hook takedown. Now let's look at the trip. Okay, the trip. Once again, I come in, maybe I use side-to-side snaps. I take Adam's head low, and I get to my front headlock. Now, from the front headlock, maybe I'm having trouble sitting down, and maybe I don't want to go to my butt. Maybe I'm not a guard player. So I can once again, step into the outside ankle line for the same reason. I don't want him to beat my left leg. He cannot get his hips over my left leg. That's bad. So I step to the outside of his legs. And now I step across, I find his foot, I find his ankle, and I pull him straight down to the floor. Like so. Okay? Now, I did it nice and slow, so he landed on his knees and his hands. When you do this one faster, oftentimes people end up falling to their shoulder. Here, I come in, I slap, like if I would do this, it'd be, and I would take him down, right, and he'd fall to his back. I'm just doing it nice and slow because I don't want to be a poor ass here. So here, we step to the outside, we step through, and we knock him down to his side just like so. Now from here, I scissor my legs. He's probably going to try to he's either going to try to re-guard or he's going to try to come up on top. Either way, I put a wedge here in the pocket of the hip to make sure he can't re-guard. If he tries to go back to his knees, that's fine. We go right back to a front headlock. Go back down. If he doesn't go to his knees and he stays where he is, then we just use a fist here in the pocket of the hips. Extend your legs a little. Fist here in the pocket of the hips, and I come up on top. Inside control. Drop your legs. Just like so. Alright, so that's our trip. One more time. Come in, boom, snap. Right here. Outside, here, pulling them down, turning chest down to the floor. Arm goes into the hip, I come up, and we have our top position. Now, have you noticed something with the last 3 breakdowns we looked at? What do they have in common? What direction are they going in? They're all pulling forward, right? I'm pulling at them forward. The shuffling snap down, the hook takedown, the trip. These are all techniques where atoms being pulled forward and broken down. So what do you think a trained person is going to start doing in response? They're going to start pulling back and away. And that's where the angle pick comes in. However I do it, maybe I do the side to side, boom, beat the head down, I get to here. From here, he's putting his weight onto his heels. I want to strip him or I want to sweep him over, but I feel all of his weight going backward. I feel that I'm almost losing the head. He's hand fighting. I feel like I'm starting to lose position a little bit, and I'm going to lose the front headlock any minute. When I see this going down, or when I see this happening, I drop to my knee, and I grab right here at the heel. Now from here, he's already pulling backward, so it's very easy for me to knock him backward. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take my front headlock arm, I'm going to throw it forward, releasing his head. He can't fix his base because I have his ankle. And then I come up, and then I point the ankles away from me, and I'm ready to start passing guard. Point the ankles away, and then find the pocket of the hip. Push, snap, pulling him to here. Now from here, I want to pull him down forward, but he's sinking his way back and away. He's resisting me. Heel, and then my chin strap arm pushes, and I throw his head, and then I immediately close the distance so he can't get back up. If he tries getting back up from here, I just push on the shoulders and I keep him down. If he tries to get back up, I just push him back down, and we're ready to work. Good. Excellent. So thanks for bearing with me there. A lot of great opportunities. Let's go through all those again. Our snap downs. We saw inside tie with a straight snap, a right-handed collar tie, snap to a right-handed front headlock. We saw the idea of a cross snap, right-hand collar tie to a left-handed front headlock. Okay. We looked at the idea of beating our opponent's collar tie on us by going with mutual snaps, with mutual collar ties with a snap on the arm. Or if he has a collar tie on us, we saw over ties. If he takes a collar tie, we go over and the elbow. We saw a collar tie here, and we saw this. And both those are good ways to take care of our opponent's collar tie arm. We also saw peeling the arm one more time into a Russian. Right here, taking it off and using a Russian tie. We trip him backwards, pull him forward, get the hands to the mat. We saw a fake shot where we fake in, he lowers his level, we come back up, snatch that head. And then we saw chest to chest grips, underhooks where I pull his shoulder down, or overhooks where I pull the shoulder down, and that gets me into the front headlock. These are all just various ways of controlling our opponent's head and controlling our opponent's shoulders and pulling the head and the shoulders down low so the head goes lower than the armpit. That's all we're doing. We have a lot of different creative ways to do it, but at the end of the day, it's kind of simple too. Take the head and the shoulders and bring them down lower than your armpit. And then once you have that standing front headlock, you've got to be able to get to the ground. It's no good to get to a standing front headlock if you don't know what you're doing and how to finish. And you saw 4 good ways to bring the fight to the mat. The number one, most tried and true method is that shuffling sprawl, where I shuffle to the side to get an angle, pulling them to a rotational direction, and then we apply weight on the head, shuffle and sprawl down. We had the hook takedown, where I slide in underneath them, take his hips over the top with a hook, and I back roll into the mount position. We saw another one where we drag our opponent forward, but this time we block their foot using a trip. And on both those ones, we step to the outside ankle line so he doesn't pass. And then the last one we looked at is now he knows we're trying to pull him down and forward, so he's pulling back and away as hard as he can. So we say, okay, if you want to go backward, we'll go backward. We drop down, block the heel, release the head, and we take our ankle pick. So lots of good ways to both proactively force your opponent's head down lower than your armpit, and lots of great ways to proactively bring them down to the mat where you can start controlling them in ways that are going to lead to your submissions. Thanks for watching, guys.